That's better than I can do in London. So everybody comes here for a dream. Everybody hustles. There's an expression that His Highness uses, Sheikh Maktoum here. And he says, when you wake up in the morning, whether you're a lion or a gazelle, you both run. That's what he says. You run. And I love that because everybody wakes up in the morning and they run. Whether you're the property developer or the Uber driver or the crypto bro, you run. And that's what this place is all about. I love it. I had a meeting on a Sunday night 2 nights ago, and I'm talking to this guy. He's a property developer. And I said, he's from London. I'm from London. I said, would we ever be having a business call on a Sunday night in London? He laughed. He's like, of course not. But in Dubai, it's standard procedure. And I really like that about this place. And I truly believe it's the future. I want to bring my family here, etc. So that's just a quick aside. I want to jump into what I'm doing. I've been extremely busy. I've been to all sorts of properties all over the place. We're about to close a $500,000 deal inside our property circle. Mark, I told the guy today I had to give him final allocations by Friday. So we've actually got a little bit left in this deal. We're expecting, we're trying to be conservative and we're trying to tell people lower, but honestly, the numbers are adding up to a very good chance of a 60% return on this deal. Now, I try to downplay that and the developers try to downplay that. But when you look at what's going on in that neighborhood, that actually looks like a conservative view. This project timeline is 16 months, but again, that's conservative. I think we'll get out in 14. And that's a pretty impressive return, even for real estate. And that's why we're doing things like this. So I'm really excited, and I'm really excited getting more deals. I'm really excited to onboard the members that are the right fit for us. People that really believe in the long term, they believe in London Real, and they just want to do something different with their money. And I'll talk about this tonight in the presentation, but maybe I'll start off with a question that you can think about on this call. How much return did you make on your money last year? That's my question for you. Your savings, your investments, how much did you make? You know, your bank maybe paid you a 3% rate and your inflation probably took all that down below zero. So congratulations, you lost money. If you happen to be in the S&P 500, which very few people are, you made 15% last year, minus inflation, that's about 11. That's not enough to really create wealth. And if you made more than that, I don't believe you. If you're in property somewhere, maybe you made 4 to 7%, adjusted for inflation, that's 3 or 4. There's not a lot of returns out there. And so that's why when we can talk about numbers like this, it's really things that notice you. And we're out of these deals in a year, 16 months. And the plan is to roll these over and compound and compound. And I got a slide tonight that will show you what that does. So while I'm talking tonight, think about what your money is doing right now and the returns you're getting. And think about if you want more or you think you deserve more. I know I think you deserve more. So there we go. By the way, thank you for turning cameras on. It's required to be here. Mark throws out people who don't have cameras on, so turn them on. We got Lataris here and Gabe. I'm going to go through this. You can ask me questions in the chat. Does everyone know how to send messages here in Zoom? There's a little chat message. Send me a message. I'm an open book here. Ask me any question you want. I'm giving a big presentation at a conference tomorrow called the Global Family Office Investment Summit. They actually gave me a Lifetime Achievement Award last year, and I'm actually going to be talking about what we're doing tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of the day, I don't have family offices coming up to me looking to put in $1 million, $5 million, $10 million in these deals. Because when they see what I'm going to show them, they're going to be blown away. So this isn't just London Realers money going in. These are high net worth individuals that want in on these deals. By the way, the deal we're funding on Friday, Mark, we're going to probably put $500,000 in that deal. There's wealthy individuals putting 8.5 million balance on that deal. So we're actually small players on that deal, and there's big money here. For them, this is such a no-brainer. They're putting huge chunks of their wealth in there. Also, I know people that are selling their houses in Dubai and rolling all those profits back into these deals. And again, if you know, you know, but very few people know these are happening. So let me jump into it and talk about this presentation. This presentation and these articles are literally straight off, hot off the presses. Raise your hand if you can see this very happy guy in Dubai who has now become a property developer. The big headline, and I'll share the article with you, is this $1.1 trillion Dubai luxury property wealth shift. And it's kind of a brand new luxury sector in Dubai. And we're going to show you how investors are quietly getting rich. And it is quiet because very few people know what's going on here. Some people are aware of what happens in Dubai, but most people think of it as an off-plan market to invest in. What does off plan means? It means you buy something that doesn't exist yet. It's going to be built in 2 years or 5 years and 7 years. And sometimes you can buy it with 20% down or 30% down. You have some inherent leverage. And then you hope and pray that it gets built, that the community around it is thriving, and that you can make some type of a profit. But when it comes on a risk adjusted rate over 5 or 6 years, sometimes you're looking at a 10% yield. And it's sometimes not as attractive as you think it will. Also, there's a lot of supply coming on the market right now. What we do gets rid of all of those issues, and I'll explain that. Folks, here's some of the news. This article was, I think, literally out today. And the MENA region, which is right where we are here in the Gulf, now has topped Europe as the #2 fastest growing wellness real estate market. This is a real niche of real estate now in the luxury market, where the projects are all about your wellness. So not to mention there's no electromagnetic rays, there's no emissions in your house. They're very careful about all the substances they use. It's becoming a new thing, not to mention all the spas. Everything is around your health and your well-being in these new builds. And I think this is just going to be a trend for the future. It's really only open to the luxury market. Also, you got this figure that came out about 3 days ago, the Dubai ultra luxury villa resale market, which is exactly what we do. And you can see properties like this, which I'm going to every day. I become completely desensitized, Nikki, to these gorgeous properties. You know, I walk in there and I'm just like, oh, wow. But when you take a step back, you look at this property and you're like, oh my gosh, like this is incredible. You know, infinity pools are standard, beachfront property standard on the Palm, 15-foot ceiling standard, quarters for your maid and your butler standard, underground parking garages with elevators for 6 supercars standard, air-conditioned garages, by the way, standard, all Italian appliances, Italian marble, standard. This is just what you have to build here because the ultra rich know the difference between that and people trying to pass off things as that. So I've been seeing 100 million dirham houses, 200 million dirham houses, 300 million dirham houses. So that's basically 20 million pound house up into 50, 60 million pound houses. And it's pretty mind blowing what you can get. Another headline, Dubai's ultra luxury property deals surged tenfold in 5 years. The return is almost at 1,000% over 5 years. And that's really, really incredible what they do. And of course, 500 sales of homes over $10 million all happened in 2025. That's pretty mind-boggling if you think about it. And again, real estate is cheaper here than, Miami, London, New York, but not by much. But that's still quite a lot of homes, and it's just accelerating. It's accelerating. That grew 194% in the last few years. So that's like doubled, and it's just going to continue going up. Folks, this is a story I literally just found randomly. Somebody bought a villa in the Palm for $3 million and sold it 13 months later for $6.5 million. I wasn't even talking to one of our developers. This came up on Google News. And so I get DMs all the time, Emmett and Paul, and people say, Brian, come on, you worked on Wall Street. Don't tell me you can make 40%. You know that's not true. And I'm like, oh, really? I send them this article. Well, some random person just made 118% in 13 months. So please don't tell me that we can't make 40, 50, 60, 70%. We can. It's all about how you source these deals. And of course, I have now been spending my time at these luxury villas. This is in a place called the Royal Atlantis Hotel, or Atlantis the Royal. It is pretty much the feature hotel in a city full of feature hotels. Has anybody ever been to this place? Has anybody, by the way, raise your hand if you've ever been to Dubai. Can I just take a survey here? Larissa, Bill, Emmett, Paul, nobody. That's always interesting to me. Okay. It's like when you're in crypto, you think everyone's in crypto. When you're in Dubai, you think everybody's been to Dubai, but people haven't. But you do know that there's something going on in Dubai that maybe makes you curious. Raise your hand if maybe that's you, right? There's something going on there, right? So this is me at this gorgeous penthouse. It was like on the equivalent of the 50th, 60th floor. It overlooks the Palm from the opposite side. I'm on the other side right now, overlooking it right behind me. And what I can determine from these pictures, Nikki, is if I can't make it in property, I can probably make it as a model, right? A property model, I think they call it. Maybe I can make a few bits of change on the side. But this is me. I actually have a picture in the bed, but the owner's wife came by with me laying down in their bed, and she wasn't too impressed. So she kind of threw me out, and I promised not to use that picture. But I am spending every day out there canvassing the properties and looking for our next big honestly, I'm looking for the 100% return win. That's my goal to myself over the next 24 months, is to get my investors a 100% win deal and to document the whole thing and audit it so it's proven that I just gave those kinds of returns. That's kind of my goal. It's on my bucket list to do. And so I'm looking for that one piece of property that will do it, but I'll be very happy with an 80, 70, 60% return regardless. Folks, before we get started, I just want to say this presentation is for information purposes only, not intended to be investment advice. If you're looking for that, please go find a professional. I also want to say that I've got a free video for you at the end of this presentation if you stay until then. And it's going to show you how to invest in luxury Dubai real estate in 3 easy steps. I'll give you a free link to that video at the end, and I hope you give that a watch and you learn something. Folks, who is Brian Rose? You know, and when I was bad as a child, my mom used to ask me that question. She probably didn't think I'd be doing this one day. But I spent 15 years on Wall Street as a trader. I graduated MIT in 93, and they were hiring these rocket science engineers from the technical schools to go to Wall Street and price their derivatives models. So I did that, and I started learning about real capital flows. I worked on Wall Street. I worked in Chicago. I worked in London and in Tokyo, all through the biggest banks and brokerage houses in the world. And there's one thing I learned with my time on Wall Street, and this might surprise you. It's not the people with the most money. It's not the people with the best education. It's the people with the access to the deal flow that make the best returns. I've met wealthy people in the world before, but they just don't have access to the deals. I've met people from Harvard and Yale and all the fancy MBAs, but they actually just don't know where to go to get those deals. And so what I'm offering you here is access. This isn't an education product. This isn't a community, although we do have an investor day here, April 27th, and you're welcome to meet the rest of the circle and come see me, and we'll go look at our properties. But I'm offering you access to deals you would never even ever see before. You wouldn't even know they were happening, and you can't even believe those returns. Now, for the past 15 years, I set up London Real, and I always joke with my children that now I'm a YouTuber. After all of that, that's what I do for a living. I've interviewed now over 1,000 of the greatest minds on the planet, a lot of them in real estate and business, and spent that building a global audience. And we've done so many things with London Real. I'm sure that's why you're here. I've also spent the last 5 years studying Dubai up close. I came here. We've invested over $25 million into blockchain deals here. And I started really canvassing the real estate market and started to really understand what makes the city tick. And now we're a broadcaster with 1 billion views, 5 million followers, and a lot of these projects are attracted to our media platform. I don't know if that makes sense, Paul or Emmett, but the reason I can get you these deals is because they want exposure to our millions and millions of people around the world, because it's ultimately going to help us sell that property and probably make us an extra 10% on top of what we're already making. Folks, these are some of the guests I've had on the studio over the year. This is Grant Cardone. He has over $5 billion of real estate under management. He's always thinking big, and he's been a great mentor for me. This is Robert Kiyosaki, author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Does anybody know Robert or read that book before? It's a pretty incredible book, right? Amazing. I can't even believe I'm actually friends with Robert. We text. It's still very surreal. Robert has been a guest on my show for 10 years. I think he's been on it over 10 times. And Robert doesn't invest in things that are fake. He only buys real things. So he owns real estate, gold, Bitcoin. He doesn't trust Wall Street, neither do I. And he only invests in things that are tangible. And it took me long enough, but I finally understood what he was talking about, and that's why we're here. Folks, this is Jim Rickards. He wrote a very famous book called Currency Wars. He's a former Wall Street executive, lawyer, and now he runs war games for the Naval Department every year, but they're financial war games. And they're all about what happens to the United States when they're attacked from the banking sector. Jim is an incredible, incredible mentor, a great friend, and he's taught me a lot about investing. And of course, some of you might know Dan Pena, the $1 trillion man. This is me at his castle in Scotland, accepting his award to become a member of his Hall of Fame along his various billionaire success stories. How many people here know Dan Pena or have heard of Dan Pena? He's been a guest on our show many years, yeah. Nikki, I think this is the only recorded photo of him smiling that we have on record here. And so take a screenshot, because I think he's trying to delete it from the internet as we speak. But I love Dan. Dan taught me that the only way to get better, to make money, is to pull the trigger. And Dan used to say, Brian, the last thing you need to do is watch another video or listen to another podcast or read another book about, say, real estate investing. The way you learn is by doing deals and pulling the trigger. And that's how you learn and get better. And I couldn't agree with him more. What I try to do now is take action before anything else. Folks, why Dubai? Why am I here? Why are we talking about this place? Well, it's the number one destination for global wealth migration. And I'll show you on the next slide a diagram that's going to blow your mind. There is a severe shortage of turnkey luxury supply. What does that mean, Larissa? Turnkey means that I get my key, I turn it, I walk into my luxury, ultra luxury mansion, and everything is done for me. I'm talking everything, Leon. I'm talking the furniture is all Italian made. I go in the cupboard and the plates and silverware are there. I go into my bedroom, the linens are there. I had a concierge the other day, and he goes in there, and the woman opens the thing, and she's got Birkin bags in there. And the guy goes down to the underground 6-car garage, and he's got supercars there. The ultra wealthy want everything done for them. They want their visas applied for their gardeners and their chauffeurs and their nannies. They want it all handled. And that's what we do here. We don't sell you a property that you show up to and it's empty. It doesn't need work for 3 months. These people don't have time for that. We sell solutions for the ultra wealthy that want to move here. Now, let me tell you, as someone that's tried to convince his family to move here, the last thing you want to say is, honey, I found us a villa on the Palm, and it's only going to take 6 months. It'll be a little dusty, and then the construction is over. Trust me, that's not going to fly. People want an Instagrammable house from day one, and that's what we're providing, and that's how we're able to make these returns, because people are willing to pay a premium for that service. Does that kind of make sense, Larissa, Emmett, as a thing? Also, the labor costs here are very cheap, right? Very cheap, right? We got incredible labor from all around for pennies on the dollar, and the rich are willing to pay more, and there's no ultra luxury supply. Now, that's going to blow your mind. You're like, no, Brian, I've seen the videos of Dubai. Everything looks like it's super luxury. No, what you see is what people think is luxury. But when you actually go down and drill down, it doesn't have all of the elements that a billionaire would know, someone that's going to spend 50 million pounds on a house. That takes the detail, and there's a lack of detail in this market. And that's what we're investing in, to be very honest. And every day I'm here, the more I understand this more clearly. Moving on, the market is built for high performance returns. Why? There's no personal tax here and no capital gains tax. Is anybody experiencing that in their country right now? Raise your hand. Bill, Larissa, Emmett, Paul, you got zero capital gains and no personal tax either? Man, I hope the IRS isn't looking for you. But this is a pretty impressive if you get that. But look, it's incredible, this place. And that's why I say it's like what the West used to be. A lot of people don't remember before 1913, the United States did not have an income tax. Zero. They only weaseled their way in that. They start with the wealthy and then it goes to everybody. So be careful with those taxes. But this place knows from a long year of hundreds of years of trading that if you take taxes to zero, you will become the most popular trading port in the Gulf region. And that's what made Dubai, and that's why they do that. So again, high performance returns, rapid economic growth, engineered by the ruling family who have a 100-year plan for this place. Paul, let me ask you the last time that one of your politicians had a 100-year plan, right? Here's what their plan is. They have a 4-year term, Paul. They got a 2-year plan before they face midterms, and they got a 1-year plan to make as much money on their stock portfolio before they get thrown out. That's the plan of our current politicians. Anybody know what I'm talking about, right? Look, I ran to be mayor of London, right? I didn't make it, but I saw what was going on the inside, and it's not pretty. There's 5% growth in population here every single year. And guess what? It's not 5% of immigrants sneaking across the border or jumping on boats across the channel. It's 5% of the highest net worth, the highest skilled people in the world. And they're all coming here and they want housing. And of course, cash rich international buyers. Here's that slide I wanted to show you. Take a look at this, Bill and Leon. 142,000 millionaires relocated last year. 142,000. Look at the very top bar on that chart. Where did they all come? More than any place in the world. Here, to the United Arab Emirates. Thank you very much, right? Second place, United States. Third place, Italy. And then it drops off to basically nothing. Now, look all the way to the bottom. And what country do we see? My former home country of the United Kingdom. 16,500 millionaires left that country. How many billionaires left? How many businesses left? Who here is in the UK right now? Raise your hand. Don't be embarrassed. Yeah, Nikki. We all know it just feels like it's going down. Now, nobody in London has stolen my watch on the street or stabbed me or stolen my phone. It hasn't happened yet. Of course, you know, I can be a little intimidating on the streets. but I know it's only a matter of time, okay? And I can feel that it's going one way. You know, I can feel that the NHS is broken. I can feel our transportation system is about to break. I can feel law and order slipping away, and I can feel taxes going up, even though they give us nothing in return. Folks, this is going to continue. It's going to continue. And that's why we are building these homes, because everybody is moving here. And this is going to go for another 20, 30 years for Europe. I don't think anything's going to turn it around. I really don't. And that's what we're taking advantage here. So what is a luxury transformation? Great question. It's a targeted upgrade of a premium property. And I'm going to show you one of our case studies shortly. You basically find a villa that's about 10, 15 years old, Paul, and you go in there, and even though probably you and me wouldn't mind sleeping on the floor there, it'd be like, we would be fine. If you really going to be spending a lot of money, you can go in there and you'd be like, well, it's a little tired. No problem. We take that thing, and within 12 to 14 months, we make it basically look brand new. Very little structural, which means it's a very short turnaround time. And it's actually designed to match exactly what global buyers want. They want premium luxury. Now, I was talking with one of our developers recently, and he said, Brian, 4 or 5 years ago, I had a couple billionaires that wanted to move here, and they didn't move because they couldn't find the quality of the property. So there really isn't enough supply for these people, and that's what we're creating. And they have to be bespoke projects. Mercedes-Benz just announced an 11-tower development a few days ago in this area called Benghazi, right? They're going to build 8,000 luxury flats. Let me ask you a question, Emmett. Do you think a billionaire is going to want one of 8,000 luxury flats? Probably not. For these people, it's a statement of who they are and the business they expect to be done and how they expect to be received. And so we're going for a higher tier market. Of course, our strategy is built to unlock significant value fast, right? Quick turnaround times, 12 to 14 months, max 16 months, high performance returns. We're not waiting 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years for something to be built, or a neighborhood to hopefully be built or be filled by people. We're getting in and out of these things. Sometimes we can even sell them halfway through the construction, which is what we're really trying to do. Folks, 49% returns is something I never really saw on Wall Street, especially something where you own the underlying property. So to a degree, your principal is protected, as opposed to an investment in a high-tech startup or a crypto investment where there isn't that protection. I've never really seen this kind of risk return. And what I'll do is play a short video for you, because sometimes I have a way of just not exactly explaining kind of the energy and the excitement of what we're doing here. But this is a little bit more about what we're doing here and kind of what we're planning on doing on the ground right now.
Dubai real estate is exploding, and the biggest money is being made where almost nobody is looking, in premium luxury transformation projects that have historically delivered 40 to 90% annual returns. That is incredible. For years, these opportunities were locked inside private networks. You never saw them. You never had access until now. I've spent 15 years on Wall Street and 5 years studying Dubai up close. And today, for the first time ever, you can invest directly alongside my team. We have just received a brand new project with real potential for outsized returns. And early allocations always fill fast. Click the link and apply now. Your opportunity starts today.
Boom. So that's a little bit of the vibe of kind of what we're going on here. And I'm going to update that soon. I'm actually filming a mini reality show right now that'll be 4 episodes. That is me coming here and meeting with all the developers and asking all of my questions. So you're going to be able to view that soon. It's going to be a lot of fun, but it's going to be a way for you to see behind the scenes what I'm actually going through. And it'll probably answer all the questions you might have. In the meantime, we can answer them. But you'll literally see people explaining all of what's happening in the background. Does anybody want to see that when it comes out, or see the trailer of that? Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's also great to see kind of how it all happens in the background. So just jumping back in here, this is a case study from the developer we're working with on our current project that we're closing Friday, that they did in the Palm Jumeirah. The Palm is that, you know, man-made island complex that was famously done by Dubai over 20 years ago. The thing is some of these houses are a little old. So what they did is they acquired one of them for $7.1 million. Between renovation and permits, they spent another $6.3 million. So they spent $13.4 million total. They sold that property for $25.9 million, I think, to a wealthy family in India. And in a 12-month period, they made a 93.8% return. That's in a nutshell what we're doing. Again, keep it simple. Stupid is something my grandpa always used to say. And that's what we're doing here. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel. We're not trying to build 1,000 complex place and sell the future that's going to happen 50 miles inland in 20 years' time. I don't know what's going to happen in 20 years' time. I don't know what's going to happen in 2 years' time. And I don't care because we're going to have our profits in 12 months' time. And this real estate market's not going to turn around in 12 months. And actually, luxury is the last market to be affected, even when there is a downturn. The good news is that we're monitoring this at all times. So in case there is a downturn, what we'll do is sell the property early, and we might sell it at a slight discount. So maybe we don't make 60%, maybe we make 50 and we're out and we have our cash. So we've got all sorts of contingency plans. And the beautiful thing is the people we're working with, not only are developers, they're real estate brokers. So they can actually sense the price movement and they can source the buyers if and when we need them. So this is a great example. So when someone tells you you can't make 40% on property, well, I've got quite a few examples where you can make more. Folks, here's that article that I mentioned earlier, $1.1 trillion. And that's what this brand new sector of the market called this wellness luxury real estate market. And you can see as you drill down into this article, it shows that basically $5.7 billion, billion dirhams, which is about $1.5 billion, is featuring these natural materials and these rich greenery to promote this daily wellness. So it's these bio-living features like air and water purification systems, circadian moves for sleep and all that, which is important for me because I struggle with my sleep and I got all the devices. But this is a new level of where luxury is going. And so this is exactly the kind of thing that we are incorporating into our properties as well. You know, like I said, luxury is now taking on a new meaning. It's not about having a nice house. Now it's about having a furnished house. Now it's about having the concierge services. Now it's about having something that's good for the environment, that's good for your sleep, that's good for your biosystems. And it's happening here first. Folks, here's the other title I mentioned, 3.15 billion. And of course, as we drill down into this article, you can see that now the market has shifted, because it used to be a market where people would come to buy and speculate. I'm going to buy a one-bedroom place and flip it in a couple of years. But everything has changed now. Now there's a total shift in the buyer profile. 45% of the people buying now are people that want to live here in Dubai. Let me repeat that. 45% of the buyers are people that want to live in that house. We've never seen this happen before, and that's why they want pure and true luxury. Folks, we know Dubai now outshines London, Miami, and Phuket. It's been proven. And of course, this is another fascinating article. You can see, again, as we know, 500 sales worth more than 10 million, 70 properties were sold worth more than 25 million. And of course, $9 billion of prime sales last year. The ultra rich are increasingly buying homes rather than just investment properties. And that is what we're taking advantage of. This only happens in a mature market. Was not really happening 5 years ago, happening now because people really want to live here. And of course, we see Bugatti, Mercedes-Benz, and Lamborghini all creating their brand new towers. And we know the Bugatti penthouse just sold for $150 million, the highest sale of any apartment in the Middle East ever, all happening right here. And of course, we know that the UAE luxury property is set for a sustained boom. And we can see the market's planning to double in the next few years. And again, the momentum just keeps going up, and it's people that want to buy and live. Folks, our latest deal, as I mentioned earlier, it's actually inland. It's in a beautiful place. I won't mention the name, but it's really surrounded by greenery. I thought I was actually, I wouldn't say the Lake District, but I thought I was in Colorado at one point. There was like a stream and a lake, and it was like, what am I doing? This is Dubai. And it's funny, Nikki, I actually drove by a complex. When I was going there, I drove by and there was a billboard that said, development coming soon, pine trees. So there's going to be a pine tree development here. And I'm like, only in Dubai would they put a whole pine tree complex in the middle of the desert. They can do anything here, right? There's an indoor ski slope. They can do everything here. And that's exactly what they do. They create what the buyer wants. Anyways, this is a premium transformation project. The timing's perfect. It's filling quickly, and it's in a high demand location. Everybody wants to live here. It's where all kind of the celebrities and strong money is. And that's what this project is. Folks, I just wanted to talk about just, kind of my kind of unspoken plan for my property circle. This is what I think is going to happen. People like you are going to join because there's something here. There's something here you can't ignore. There's something going on here. And you don't have to be on the ground. You don't have to flip houses. You don't have to clean toilets on weekends. It's all handled through a transparent investment vehicle, which I'll talk about shortly. But my dream is for you to come in on the first deal. And whether you come in for 10K, the minimum, or 100K or more, that's up to you. And I want you to see how this deal goes. And once we come back a year from now and we show you that 50, 60% return, I think you're going to say, you know what, Brian, let's roll that. Let's do one more. Let's do one more. Let's do one more. Okay. Now, some people say, Brian, give me the profits out, keep the principal. Let's do one more. No problem. It's your money. You can have it all if you want. But what my secret fantasy is we compound these 50% returns. And I still think that's pretty conservative, even compared to our current deal. And say we compound that over 6 years. Compounding sneaks up on you, right? Doesn't it, Paul? And what happens is if you do 50% returns for 6 years, you're actually going to make 11x on your money. Now, check my math if anybody's got one of those fancy calculators, but it's kind of mind-boggling what that does. And that's what we want to do. I want to do this right up to 32, probably to 2035, maybe to 2040. And the compounding is what really gets people's attention. And so you start getting things like 11x returns that honestly, you're just never going to see in any other asset class. Does that kind of exciting for people to see here? Right. And again, it doesn't happen at 20%. It definitely doesn't happen at 10%. I mean, it compounds, but it doesn't get exciting, but it does here. And so the beautiful thing is that you can make a decision every 12 months to take your money out. Try doing that with any other property investment. Impossible. Like just impossible. Transaction costs alone will kill you. But in here, you could actually do this. Folks, I've just been blown away. And again, I've studied markets. I've invested for 30 plus years. I've never seen anything with such a high risk for such a high reward for such a low risk. So how does London Real get access to these deals? It's simple. We have been putting in work for the last 15 years. We built a media platform out of nothing. Again, I've interviewed over 1,000 guests, 1 billion views of our content, 5 million subscribers. And so, we've been working on this. And I always say success is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. We've built the media platform. Now we have an opportunity to invest. We're taking you, our loyal London Realers, and putting you on the inside and giving you access to deals you would never see. We're giving the developers access to media that will multiply their investment values. It's an amazing thing, and we've done it before. Now, look, a lot of you probably felt like Drake on the top. You've tried to invest in property on your own. I don't know, maybe you bought that extra home looking to flip it. And like I said, you're fixing toilets on the weekends and you're thinking, what the hell am I doing this for? This is not worth it. I have no interest in doing that. What I want to do is give you an opportunity where you don't even have to come here and you can do it through a transparent vehicle that gives you still an ownership stake and gets you whatever tax treatment you want around the world. All right. And that's exactly what we're doing here. By the way, we do have an investor day on April 27th, and everyone's welcome to come and take a look at the properties and hang out with me as well. Folks, if you want to be a part of this, then I ask you to apply to our luxury property investment circle. All right. And when you apply, you also book a call at the same time, and we can actually give you the answer to your application on that live call and explain to you what it takes to actually become a member. It's super simple to do this. We want to bring people in for as little as $10,000 investments. And what we're looking to do is 40 to 90% returns. All right. We can't promise that because nobody can promise that in the future. But based on previous deals, this is very reasonable to expect and is what I'm working on every single day. If you go to londonreal.tv/Dubai, by the way, you'll come to this page. You'll see a video of me talking about this. You'll see a case study. You'll see a bunch of other details. And you'll see a quick form like this. It'll take you 20 seconds to input. Name, phone number, email, roughly how much you want to invest, and 10 or 20 words on why you want to join the circle. Once you input this, we're going to start doing our research on you, Nikki. We're going to look you up, Leon, and find out how many episodes you watched of London Real. Have you been to any of my movie premieres? Have you joined any of my digital classes? Have you taken any of my courses? And we'll find out how loyal you are, and the points go up the longer you've been with us. But the truth is, I just want London Real family here. I don't need any nonsense. I'm too old to deal with nonsense. And so what I want is just people that believe in our vision and want to do this for the next 10 years with us. So that's what we're looking for. And again, I read these personally, and we'll give you your answer whether you're in or not on the live call that you book. Folks, a lot of you know that I ran to be mayor, excuse me, mayor of London. I did it twice, once in 2021, once in 2024. The last run I ran on a pro crypto, pro freedom of speech platform. Look, I love London. I said this before, but the truth is that the city broke my heart. And at the end of the day, you got to vote with your feet. You have to show maybe the world or show everybody that it's just not good enough anymore. And I'm got to go somewhere else. And that's why I've really fallen in love with Dubai for so many reasons. And we built our studio here. I've been filming London Real in Dubai for the past 2 years. Incredible guests here. And we've basically relocated everything here to take advantage of this incredible opportunity and property. Folks, this is Carl Moon. He's a Bitcoin billionaire, also has some incredible luxury properties, drives a Bugatti. This is Chris Crypto, has a villa on the Palm as well. And so by spending time with these people, I actually got a good handle on luxury the last few years because there's a lot of wealthy people here. And of course, they're all London realers. Why wouldn't they be, right? Right now, we're investing over $3 million into 6 different luxury refurbishment deals this quarter. All right. We are moving fast. We'd love to get you involved. But again, you've got to move fast as well. Sometimes these deals can close in 48 hours. Folks, this is London Real Ventures. It's the world's first media-powered investment firm. This is something we've been doing for the past 4 years. This is something that's never been done in history. No one's ever taken a massive media channel like London Real and combined it with an investment firm, which in this case, with $25 million in capital. When you put these together, you create a business that never existed before. Imagine, combining Fox News with Blackstone and putting them together. Think of all the synergies they could put together, but no one's ever done that before. And so what we do is when we bring our media and our financing together, we get you deals you would never see, and we get the developers incredible eyeballs that makes their properties worth more. And this is the proof that's in the pudding. This is our portfolio that we built over the last 4 years. These are artificial intelligence, blockchain, and technology companies that we've invested in. Some of these have already become billion-dollar, $2 billion companies. We've had a tremendous amount of success with this media-powered investment firm model. This is Skillful AI. It's a AI deal on the blockchain. This deal was up 20x at the launch. I made my group a $4 million profit that day. This is Shrapnel. It's actually a game. It's actually on the blockchain as well. We did a 20x in 20 days and made a $5 million profit for our investors. This is the Mochaverse. It's a $7 billion company. This is the chairman here, Yat Su. He was just in Davos. He's at all the big conferences. We did a 20x on his Mochaverse token, and it's going higher. This is Story Protocol, one of our big wins. It's up 42x, made a $21 million profit for our members. One of our members, Jose, who's also now joined the Property Circle, put $50,000 in that deal. And that single $50,000 investment is now worth $2 million. And so we have a track record of success in doing this. Finally, this is a $1 billion fund that we invested in with a guy named Dan Tapiero, who's a legend on Wall Street. He's already made us a 4 to 8x return on this. We put $1 million in, so that's about a $7 million return. We're actually putting another $1 million into his next $1 billion fund, but we have just a complete history and track record of success. And of course, now we've invested over $25 million into over 100 different deals, and we're looking to match that in property over the next 24 months, and then I think it's going to go much higher. Folks, I was awarded the Best Venture Capitalist of the Year last year. I accepted this award in Singapore. And yes, Paul, that's actually a pink suit. And yes, I own it. And that's not even a fancy color grade. It's that color. The weird thing is, the more attention I get, the better deals we get and the more money I make our investors. So I'm trying to get an even crazier suit than that. I don't know if it exists yet. This is me in an orange and red suit attending the Global Family Office Investment Summit. I'll actually be there tomorrow. There I was accepting a Lifetime Achievement Award, and tomorrow I'm going to tell them what we're doing here. And I think a lot of capital is going to come our way. And of course, everyone here in Dubai knows me as the old man that decided to lace up the gloves and jump in the boxing ring last year. And so at 54 years old, when they threw me this 27-year-old punk kid, at first I thought they were crazy, but sometimes, Paul, you got to lace up the gloves and teach these punk kids some manners, right? Leon, you with me? And so then the second guy they threw me was 19 years old. He was like 6'3". What are they trying to do to me? I remember I told them, I said, can you get me someone my age with no fights like me? And they said, sure, Brian. He's 27 and he's 2-0. I said, okay, great. Let's do it. So a lot of people here know us for that. And again, the attention gets us deal flow. Folks, how can we maximize our investment returns? Well, Ray Dalio is a legend on Wall Street, and he knows that diversification is the holy grail of investing. He's made massive amounts of money. And this is what the portfolio of one of our Property Circle members looks like. A lot of our members have crypto holdings. say 20%. They have real estate about 30%. They have fixed income instruments, equities, and cash. This is a diversified portfolio. I would never tell you to put 100% of your money in real estate deals, never tell you to put 100% of your money in crypto. And so we see this as an intelligent, diversified play, which has been mathematically proven to increase your returns. Folks, we think the greatest way to predict the future is just to go out there and create it. I could be in London right now, shivering with the flu, complaining about the Labour government and taxes. I could be, right? Or I could create a brand new reality for myself and my family and my investors. And that's what I'm doing here. That's what we've always done. When life gives you lemons, you make that lemonade. And so I'm not going to sit and wallow in all of the terrible returns out there and how inflation is killing your returns on your property and your stock portfolio. I'm going to move to Dubai and get a small group of people to make 40, 50, 60, 70, 80% returns over the next 5 to 10 years. We're just going to create the future we desire. Does anybody like the sound of that here? Right? I love it. That's what we like to do here, and we've done it in the past, and we're going to do it again. Folks, this is Ben Bhandari. He is, I think, the top real estate broker in Dubai. He's also the star of a brand new reality show called $1 Million Listing. I sat down with Ben. He was a guest on London Real just a couple months ago. And here he is on the poster of what is now another hit series. And they're just getting all the top ratings for all of the views. And I sat down. He came here from Toronto 20 years ago. And I sat down and I said to him, I said, Ben, why? Why Dubai? I said, you've seen the tops and the lows. He was here in the crash in 08 in the financial crisis. You think America got hit. Oh my gosh, everything here was like just completely stopped at that point. And yet he stayed and continued fighting. And I asked him why.
How did Dubai become one of the top 5 real estate markets in the world?
There's many factors. The safety and the security is next level. You won't find it anywhere in the world. The leadership had a vision to basically attract foreign investment, to bring basically expats here, and to basically expand the culture, the tourism, and the city itself. His Highness, he's just created a marketing machine, and they've done a great job. I mean, I've seen it all right from the beginning, from 2002 up until today. You have to come here, you have to see it, you have to experience it to believe it.
And we're seeing a lot of billionaires and a lot of other high net worth people bring their families here, invest in properties.
There's really no comparison. We have 1,000 families moving to Dubai weekly. Everybody is looking to come here. Everyone's looking to move here because of tax reasons, because of safety, because of security, because they want to park their money somewhere safe as well. There's so many factors. I mean, the list goes on. We can just sit here till tomorrow morning. Everyone moves to Dubai. The money pours in because of the safety, because of the security, because of the stability.
There you go, straight from the man himself. 1,000 families a week. Think about that. Isn't that crazy, Nikki? 1,000 families a week. I can't even get my head around that. And there's a percentage of those that are going to be these high net worth people. Think if it's just, say it's 1%. That's 10 luxury transformations a week that they need. That's 520 homes a year. And look at the numbers. They only sold $510 million homes last year. Not to mention the people that are moving homes here, that are upgrading. There just isn't enough supply. And that's what we're taking advantage of. And I believe we can take advantage of that at least for the next 3 to 4 years. So that's Ben. It's really great to have a show like mine because whenever I want to talk to the experts, they're one phone call away. Takeaways from Ben are this. Number one, Dubai has safety and security. Plain and simple. It sounds obvious. It sounds simple, but it's not simple. You don't have that in New York City. You don't have that in London. You don't have that in Miami. You don't have that anywhere really, except for here. Leadership attracts investment. The royal family here has an incredible vision, and that's why people are here. 0 personal taxes, 0 capital gains tax. It's a playground for the wealthy and for everybody else who wants to make a better life, period. So how do we create outsized returns in real estate? There's one simple way, folks. It's deal flow. You can not make money in Dubai if you buy the wrong deals. Trust me, I've met a lot of people that bought the wrong thing because with every boom, there's also a bust, right? And with every great return and great investment, there's also a fugazi out there. And so what I'm doing on the streets here is making sure that I'm building the relationships with the people that are going to get us the deals. And that's what I've been doing for the last few years, spending time with members of government, people in influencing circles, venture capitalists, crypto billionaires, you name it. I've been on stage interviewing people. I premiered our films here. I've even hung out with CZ here, who's worth about $150 billion. And I know where he lives and the kind of things that he likes. This is the network we've built. And the idea is to get our investors the best returns. Folks, if you want to win in the space, you have to invest with the best. I'm looking for the deals that are going to get us these outsized returns. All right. And I'm looking for that deal that gives us the 100%, the 90%, the 88%. That's what I'm looking for right now. And again, you saw the compounding aspect, 50% return over 6 years gets you an 11x on your money. Think about starting off with 100K that turns into $1.1 million in 6 years. I can't think of a single market where you could do that with also owning the underlying property, with much less of a risk profile and some principal protection. This is our investor portal. As soon as you join, if you're accepted, you'll go in here, you'll see the deals, you'll ask for your allocation. We can get you KYC'd and ready to go in 24 hours. And again, let me talk about the financial tools. We use things called SPVs. How many people here know what an SPV is? Just so I can get a thing. Okay, Nikki does. It's not complicated. It's called a special purpose vehicle. What it does is it holds a property inside its own standalone legal entity. So owners like you directly own the asset while you isolate the risks from your personal wealth and from other members in the structure. What it does is it's a ring-fence structure, provides stronger legal protection, cleaner tax treatment, and it's easier for financing and partnerships. Really easy to build. We can spin these up in 48 hours. This is our SPV platform and our KYC platform. You go in, you prove who you are, passport, utility bill, and you're ready to go. The platform is the front end and the back end. All your payouts are managed through here. It's super simple. You do your bank transfers here. This ain't our first rodeo. We've done over 100 of these before, and we're doing the exact same process that we did with our tech investments. Folks, how do you create generational wealth? You have to pull the trigger. It's just that simple. You can't sit on the sidelines and watch. You're going to watch this, and it's going to be over quickly. This is an opportunity that doesn't last forever. And the only people that are going to be talking about are the ones that actually went and tried it. Final thoughts here. Timing matters, because if you wait, you're going to miss this. First of all, I can't expand the SPVs once they're filled. After Friday, once we have allocation, I can't put an extra $1 million in a deal because a deal only requires so much capital. A company will take an extra $1 million in financing, but a property can't. Early investors get priority. Deals close fast. Once allocations are gone, they're gone. And again, I'm looking for serious investors only. I want people that are looking for access, not theory. I'm not going to draw some bar chart or some graph. I'm not going to come up with a crazy spreadsheet from hell. I want to give you access to the deals that are making money. If you're the person we're looking for, you want real assets, not speculation. You want transparency. You want an SPV ring fence structure. You want access to real opportunities. Plain and simple. That's what we're doing. There's only one final thing to do. Apply now to join, or join if you've already had a conversation with Mark. Like I said, I believe I could still get you in on this deal, and I think it's an excellent deal. What we offer is a private membership program. It's a lifetime of premium opportunities, which is pretty incredible. It's a chance to build generational wealth, and you can get in for as little as a $10,000 investment. We can only do that because of the SPVs. So it's really a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I tried to make this as frictionless as possible. I tried to create the structure to where anybody would say, of course I want in, Brian. Why wouldn't I want in? And I thought about this for a long time, okay? And I've done this, like I said, for 4 years. We've done programs like this before, and I knew I had to have a $10,000 minimum investment. I knew I wanted to give you lifetime access. I knew that I wanted to give you a really sleek and user-friendly onboarding platform. I knew I wanted to give you the opportunity to roll those deals over time and compound your wealth. I just knew that was really important. And I knew that you needed me to be here on the ground, sourcing the deals and following our projects as they're built to make sure everything goes to spec. That's why I'm here. I take this very seriously. I take everything I do very seriously, sometimes to a fault, and I take this very seriously as well. Folks, best thing to do is apply now. LondonReal.tv/Dubai. At the same time, book a video call as well, and we'll give you the answer to your application on that call. If it's not a fit, we'll just tell you in the beginning of the call. Thank you. Sorry. But if it is, we'll walk you through everything we're doing here, how you can join, and then how you can start making money immediately. And I'll just say it, frankly, this is the most powerful money-making opportunity I've ever seen. And I've been around, all right? Since 93, I've been looking at deals all over the world. I've never seen anything with such a high reward for such a low risk profile. Okay, you can make a 42x in crypto, but your risk is high, right? In property, I'm not going to get you a 42x, but I could get you a 50, 60, 70% return with a very good chance you're getting your principal back regardless. That is what I'm going to be doing for the next 10, 20 years. Folks, here's that bonus I promised you, that video, londonreal.tv/replay. And go ahead and watch that. It's going to show you how to invest in luxury to buy real estate in 3 easy steps. And I think that's it, folks. That's it for me. Was that helpful, Leon? Was that helpful, Paul and Larissa and Bill? Okay, good. Nikki, great. Makes me so happy. You know, I'm here on the ground. I've been here a month now, and I'm here definitely until May and maybe until further notice. My kids are coming out next week. They're going to come out a month after that, but I need to be here. And every day I'm learning something new. Every day I'm meeting a new developer. And every day, quite honestly, I'm getting more excited about this. I couldn't be more excited. You know, I love to be on the cutting edge of something that's hot. I love bringing opportunities to London Realers. I could do this on my own, but it's just so much more fun when we can bring people along and just really showcase this opportunity. And I really see ourselves, you know, creating a really big portfolio that we're going to start taking our entire deals down in the future. So pretty soon in the future, you know, probably it's going to take, you know, for a lot of deals, 30, 40, 50 million dirhams to take the whole house and development costs. So you're talking 10 million pounds, but then it's all ours. And I want to start to be able to do some of those at the end of the year. And in the future, I will probably have 5, 10 projects going at the same time. That and the family office money will probably come in, and then we'll just go from there. So I'm really excited. For me, it all comes down to this. This is something Dan Pena taught me. He said, Brian, when you see a deal, it's either hot or it's not. He said, you don't need to put it into a spreadsheet. Just like when you see a man or a woman, they're either hot or they're not. You don't have to put it in a spreadsheet and run the numbers. And he's right. When you see this, there's something about it where you're like, I know Dubai's special. I know it's going somewhere. How can I become a part of that? Oh, this is the way. Brian's doing it. He's on the ground. He's done this before. Okay. So I think this is hot, but the only way to find out is to actually get in and join us. We look forward to you doing so. The best way to do it is to talk to Mark. If there's any questions for me, can you click them in the chat and ask me? Besides wardrobe questions, I think Paul is admiring my shirts, but I think he's got a pink one, you were saying. Is that right, Paul? This is Turnbull and Asser. Paul, I don't know if you use them in London. Does anybody know Turnbull and Asser? It's a very famous shirt maker in London. But if you ever go in their shop, into their custom shirt maker, there's actually a picture of all these famous Hollywood actors on the wall, like Al Pacino is in there, and of course Prince Charles is in there, and of course all these people are there, a lot of American actors. And now there's a picture of me on there. So they put me up there as well. But yeah, I like the shirts. The crazy thing is when I finished my time in the city of London, those last year at the city of London, I hated being a banker so much. I was so miserable, even though I was making so much money. I was so miserable because I didn't have a purpose. I didn't have a community. I didn't have a reason that I wouldn't even wear this to work. I wouldn't wear a tie to work. I don't even know if I was wearing a collared shirt. You know, I was really losing intensity. And now here I am on YouTube, and now I'm dressing up every day. So it's a crazy world, Paul. I'll just close by saying this. I am feeling so excited. You can probably feel it in my voice and the way I'm acting. I'm super energized for this market, and I'm super energized for our members to come in and take this to the next level. We have an investor day on April 27th. Come out and see us. It'll be so much fun. I'll show you around. I'll show you the areas I like. I'm up here, like on the water right near the Palm. I like it up here because I find when you're close to the water, it makes all the people calmer. But downtown's amazing as well. Inland is amazing. Like there's so many great places around here. I'll be going to Abu Dhabi in 2 weeks and probably spend a few days there. So there's so much to do in this region. And it's just an incredible place. So that's it. I think the last step, if you haven't had a call with Mark, is to book that call with him. If you have, I think just join us. I think that's enough said. So that's it, folks. I really appreciate your time, and I look forward to seeing you on the inside. I think it's going to be an incredible adventure. That's it. Thanks, everybody. Have a great evening. Bye.